Dear viewers, welcome everybody. This is once again Destiny Hub Foundation. Destiny Hub is all about relationships, bringing people together, helping people to prepare before connecting to their right partner. I believe under the sun, God has prepared everybody to hook up with somebody. How do you get in touch with Mr. Right, Mrs. Right? That's where the challenge has been. Worldwide, globally, people are struggling. It's been realized that people everyone has a journey. You find people in different relationships, 7, 3, 4, others that have given up. They've told themselves it just doesn't work. I was in Botswana the other day, and I was told that marriage is a no-go area. It just doesn't work. That's on a national level, Botswana. Even the national anthem of Botswana, there is a part that says women, Emma meaning that women stand firm. It has happened. Men have migrated. Stand firm. Be strong. The government of Botswana started even giving scholarships to ladies. So ladies that side are highly educated. They were given scholarships. So the little boys that were left behind, as they grew up, they didn't want to go to school because they were on market. Because their fathers had shifted, and they were few, and so every lady was looking after them. So in Botswana at that time when I was there, a girlfriend could bless, this is the country where a girlfriend could bless someone with a car. Just like you would say, okay, I have a present for you. Maybe I bought some few stuff in the supermarket. They could just donate cars. Ladies were highly learned, loaded financially, and the men were on market. So a guy would be having 4 girlfriends. This one is bringing the car, this one is loading money, this one. And it's like, what's the use of going to school? That was the status of Botswana. So it took time. It was even a crime. You could be sued in Botswana if you asked somebody who is your father. It's like you are digging up the wounds. It was an insult. So that is the country Botswana. Wow. It was very challenging. So worldwide, people are struggling in relationships, wasting resources, wasting money, wasting time. People are aging up, but they're just on the roundabout, going around and around. But there are those that have said, let me just give it up, stay at home. If I get someone, they call it leja, I get somebody to keep me going for a season. Take away. That's it. Some ladies have even chosen to say, once I'm looking for that Mr. Handsome who can give me a seed. I just get my 2 babies, I'm done. I concentrate on my career, I have my money, I move on. So how do we change all that? How do we change all that we're looking at? Today we are very privileged to host an experienced professional love coach, our dear Pastor Cyrus Rod. It's a blessing. There's some more seats around there in the corner. Maybe you could pull a little bit, stretch. There could be 1 or 2 people that are coming. Stretch a little bit. So we're very privileged to have all of you on board. And Clean, we are very happy that you're also here today with us. We just had a very good bright function the other side. And Mr. Dan, founder in our academy, you're welcome. And then our dear guests, all of you, we really appreciate for the sacrifice in such a time to be here. Pastor Remy, we're very privileged. You've always given us your time. That is incredible.
Thank you.
The theme of today that we'll be looking at Destiny Hub, today we'll be looking at different themes. Every day, whenever we come together, we have a story that we share and then throw it in the crowd, and then we catch their views and opinions. Today, the theme today is, Pastor Remy, you remember the theme?
We are talking about
possessions.
Age and possessions.
Yes.
As related to relationships.
Good. What impact can age,
It says
age and matter? Possessions.
Yes.
What effect can it bring in a relationship, in one's given relationship? Age, age factor and possessions. When we talk about possessions, we are meaning material stuff, land, could be assets, property and stuff. When people are coming together, are they looking into that? I've always told people that when the hormones rage and wake up in you, and you feel you need somebody, you need a partner to hook up, to make up a relationship, you can't separate relationship or relating without spending, isn't it? First of all, the lady will tell you, okay, you want us to meet where in town? Transport. The first thing is mobile money. You start spending right away. You send transport. Airtime, because she must call you, said, where are you? Which side? You're sitting where? How are you dressed? And then you link up like that. So spending, you can't separate those two. But now as you get along, people are asking today, age factor, what age would be advisable? What age range, you know? We've seen that some ladies have been disappointed, have given up on men with, on young men, with all their age mates. They said, these ones, they're experimental, whatever, animals. Every time they jump, in the morning he's with you, in the afternoon he's high, you know, and technology has come. You know, remember our days, the other days, it used to be letter writing. Letter writing, whereby when you write a letter, the other one must wait another 2 weeks through the post office. But as he's waiting, the heart is what? But when am I going to hear from him? The heart is boiling. And in that process, I think love is growing. And by the time the letter comes, he pulls that letter like gold and whatever, you know, opens the unveils and then reads through, then replies. The other side also has to wait for 2 weeks. Then in that kind of, you know, pattern, love was growing. But today, it's a different thing. It's just someone, you meet with somebody, technology, just WhatsApp, crossing the road, people have started. Someone is in the taxi, so how long? When do I see you next? Well, the engagement, there's no time, it's microwave. You know, it's microwave relating. Anyway, we are very privileged. First of all, give an opportunity to our guest to drive us from here. I've just been warming up the crowd and then also introducing what we're to talk about today, so he can take us from there. But before he does that, we are very privileged. He's highly experienced in these relationship matters. He's been handling lots of challenges. He's on different WhatsApp groups. He's been hosted several times on
TBN.
He's skipping TBN on TBN. TBN Paul and Jane Croch, you know, it's not easy getting hosted on such channels. I once had an opportunity in Phoenix, Arizona, but it was through a long process before you get, you know, to be honored on that channel. It's not easy. So you had several times and you've traveled worldwide, globally, doing ministry conferences. You've been speaking to the lives of, you know, a lot of people are looking at you. And it's a privilege having you over here. Please bless the people. They're here for you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Eli. It's a privilege to be here, and I appreciate you guys usually gather. I can realize the way things are being handled here. I'm very glad to be around. Cyrus is my name. And you've already done the introduction. So if I'm to get you well, you declared that actually you wanted to talk about the relationships in relation with age and then possessions. Now, I think usually we may start, of course, age is very important, possessions and all this. But one of the things we need to understand and really learn, because many times you'll talk about relations and people don't want to talk about God. But anybody who succeeds in relationship must do it with God. You take God out of the picture, you're just deceiving yourself. You're just gambling, you know, because God is the author of it. So we need to understand when you talk about the age, let me start from there. Age, somebody may say, at what age do I start to relate? Correct? At what age do I start to relate? I think it wouldn't be about the question, at what age do I start to relate? I would ask it this way before we get to that. What first question comes in? When does puberty begin?
Is it at 20 something? 20?
No.
No, in teens.
No.
When
Teens.
you're still a teenager.
Puberty.
Oh, puberty.
Teenager.
Around 12, 13.
Yes.
12, 13. You're able to start puberty. Now, what is puberty? Now, that's taking us back to the places that we really left.
You know, we ran away from.
We ran away from. Now, puberty, that's growing from childhood to adulthood. That's scientifically. And that's a moment whereby changes in your body begin. Hormones are released. If you're a woman, if you're female, breasts develop. If you're female, then your voice goes higher. And then if you're a male, your voice goes down. And then, you know, several changes in your body. Now, when the changes go on in your body, you actually, even for the male, sperm production begins. You get it? So the whole body is changing. Now, when the body is changing, that's when we think, man, I need me somebody.
Okay.
Because you sense that I want to connect. Because it's in nature that's when you realize, I need, if you're male, I need a female. If you're female,
I need a male.
I need a male. And what do? You feel, I'm ready. You get it?
Yes.
But one thing we forget is this. Your body can be ready for sex, but you're not ready for relationship.
Oh, okay. The body can be ready for sex.
But you're not ready for
Not
relationship.
ready for relationship.
And 90% of people have bodies ready for sex and they go for sex, but they can't handle a relationship. That's why they fail. They can do the sex, but they can't relate. Yes, your body is ready for sex because your body changed. I mean, you developed some muscles, some boobs, the voice goes deeper. Then as a man, everything is changing. As a woman, you're changing. And when you go in for sex, yeah, you can work it out. But relating, no. Your body is ready for sex, but you are not ready for relationship.
Okay. Okay.
Now, at that point, you're at the level of animal.
Oh, okay.
You see, animals get attracted to each other through body sense. And they don't attract to have a relationship. They usually attract for sex.
They're for recreation.
Not even recreation, sex, to propagate.
Okay.
You get it? Now that's the level of simply animal.
Okay. Okay.
You get me? So now, being people that are able to reproduce, the body is ready, but then these signs that happen in us speak a lot.
Okay.
When your body begins to change, you have to understand who put this stuff in me.
It's God.
That's where Ecclesiastes 12 comes in and it says, remember your creator in the days of your youth. You get me? You don't wait to become old. No. In the days of your youth, when your body's changing, that's the time your creator got to come in and you say, hey, who put this stuff in me? And he says, hey, look over here. That stuff you're feeling is mine. Everything going on is mine. The sexuality, the passion is mine. The hormones are mine. Everything is mine. I want you to remember me. Because there's a tendency when your body changes, oh, I like that girl. Oh, yeah, I want the boy. Oh, yeah. Hey, before you go for that girl, remember.
Come in.
Remember, somebody put it in you. Okay? Now, he doesn't say remember God. No. He says remember your creator. Two different things. That means your creator put the hormones in, created the way you feel, created the penis, created the vagina, created everything, put it in you. Now, to remember him means to acknowledge him. So you acknowledge him in your life. When you acknowledge him, the next thing that happens is that your body, now you're taking authority over your body.
Over your body, okay.
When you acknowledge your creator, you're beginning to take authority over your body.
Okay.
Now listen to what we go through. My body's changing. There's no way I can do it. I need a girlfriend. I can't make it without a girlfriend. Man, I feel it. Something in me is pushing me. I need a man. Now, if you're a female, you feel like, man, that time of the month when you feel you need somebody to really do something. No. Your body needs to be taken over.
Okay.
So that it doesn't dictate to you what to do.
Okay.
And the only way that happens is to know that somebody else actually created you. One created the body, created everything in you, and after that, he owns it. You're not even an owner. He owns it. Now that you've known that he owns it, you will have no problem. You won't go around with pinky, ponky, feather had a donkey died now.
Everywhere.
No, let me try again. Pinky. You don't go through that. You get me?
Yeah.
This thing you talked about, I have about 7, I don't know which one to choose. You're still at the animal level. You're still at the animal level. Exactly.
Okay.
Your body started changing. Now you're yielding to what your body is saying instead of first taking authority over your body.
Okay.
And the way you take authority over your body is to first acknowledge who created you, your creator. Now, when you discover that, you get to know that actually I don't own anything. He actually even owns the body. He even owns the sex I feel in me. He owns everything in me. Now, when you acknowledge that he owns, let me tell you something. Human beings are not created to be owners.
Okay.
No. There's only one owner. The earth and the fullness thereof belong to God.
To God.
Everything. So God owns everything. He created us as stewards, not owners. You get me? This body is not mine. It's owned by the one who made it. He has the copyright. So it's not my body. Now, when I acknowledge that this is not mine, that's the key to faithfulness, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
That's the key to faithfulness, knowing that I'm not an owner. Why? Because when I'm not an owner, then I'm going to do things based on what the owner wants.
I get
Huh?
your point. I get it.
So I'm not the owner. So what does the owner want with this body? Do I go around and have sex with everybody because I feel something in me and it's telling me you can do it now? What does the owner want? Okay, the owner says it's only going to be with one person when you are married. Oh, okay. Now I settle that. When I follow what the owner says, that's called responsibility. That's called what?
Responsibility.
Now, when I follow what the owner wants, that's called responsibility. Now, as I act upon it and it comes out, people say responsibility, and as I move on, I will give accountability to the owner.
Okay.
So I never leave the owner. So as I connect with the owner, this is what happens. Age possessions. Remember, I've not even talked about possessions, but let me pull this up. When I connect to the owner, why should I connect to the owner? Why do I say remember him? What happened? Because after the fall of man, we forgot him. Now he wants to come back.
Okay.
You get it? He says, I'm the owner. You guys, I own you guys. And you can't run this thing without me. Now, when we fell, something happened to humanity. If you will let me say this, in Genesis, Adam rejected God. God did not reject Adam.
Okay.
Adam rejected who?
God.
When Adam rejected God, God didn't feel rejected. Adam felt rejected.
Okay.
When you reject God, God doesn't feel it. You're the one who feels it. You get me?
Yes.
And that's why when he felt rejected, he thought God was going to reject him. God came to him. Adam, where are you? Oh man, ooh, whoa. He fumbled. I'm naked. Who told you you're naked? Adam was done running away from God. God wasn't running away from Adam. Adam was running away from who?
God.
From God. What had he done? He said, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. I'm going to carry things my way.
Okay.
He wanted to be the owner. And then he felt empty, rejected. Then when he ran away, he never wanted God to see him. He now developed what is called the fear of rejection.
Okay.
Now the fear of rejection can be healed. But this is where most people are. When you don't remember the Creator and you get to know that He comes into your life, you don't start relating when you have the fear of rejection. Okay?
Oh.
The fear of rejection. What am I talking about? The fear of rejection. You know, when a guy is going to start to reach out to a girl, you know how we do it? You've been told, put your right foot
In front.
in
First.
front. Or your best foot forward. If it's going to be a date, you even borrow clothes.
Okay. Preparation.
First impression.
Okay. We cut the
First impression is what matters. She may never give you another chance. Now, you literally come up with a facade. You literally make an impression, but it's not you.
Okay.
So you cover yourself up. Today, in the corporate world, it's called projecting an image. So you project the image. You
Excellence.
project what somebody else will accept. Why do you project what somebody else will accept? Because you fear to be rejected.
Okay.
You're paranoid.
Especially men.
Now you know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah, I can feel
The men scared to be rejected, they put up a show. When Adam was afraid to be rejected, he designed leaves and covered himself and said, in case God sees, he's going to see I'm covered. But you see, God could see through the leaves and say, dude, you're naked. You get it? Now, this is what happens. You reach out to a girl and you meet her. You say, oh, you know what? I just came back from Germany. And actually, my mom actually lives in Chicago. Okay, you know? And, you know, I grew up in Korea. But, you know, my father was a diplomat. And, you know, we used to move and, you know. Now, this dude talks about how big he is.
Yes.
Why does he talk about how big he is? Because he feels small inside.
Okay.
Okay.
When you feel big inside, you don't talk about how big you are.
All right.
When you feel small, you talk big.
Some actually say, you see that land over there? Right all the way stretching to the other tree. About it, but I'm thinking what to put there.
Now the problem is,
Yes.
I am suffering from the fear of
Rejection. Exactly.
And when I'm suffering from the fear of rejection, remember where fear is, there is no perfect love. Perfect love gets out fear. Now I want to marry a girl, but I'm afraid. Fear and love don't work together.
Okay.
All right.
Huh? Fear and love.
Pastor Rod,
Love.
Pastor Rod, these people are not easy. Sometimes men say that ladies are making it tough for you to win them. They always ask. Yes, they always they say when they talk amongst each other, they're like, "You got the guy? What's his name? Remy? What car does he drive? Where does he stay? He resides where? Muyenga or where?"
Now look at this, Paseli. You see, if you got a bunch of ignorant people, you don't try to move ahead and use the ignorance. Simply because everybody's ignorant, I'm not going to operate on ignorance.
Exactly.
You know, if you meet a girl who says, you know, girls of these days are this, no, go and teach her. Tell her what it is. And let me tell you, the reason they also say talk big is because they're also feeling small. They fear rejection.
Okay.
And this is where the problem is. And why are they feeling the way they are feeling? They're feeling the way they are feeling majorly because of this. I fear to be rejected. How do we heal the fear of rejection? That's the first thing now. How do we heal the fear of rejection? By meeting perfect love.
Okay. Mr. Right, Mrs. Right?
You engage in perfect love.
Okay.
What is perfect love? Because I know ignorant people say, there's no perfect love, it doesn't exist. You see, if it doesn't exist, the Bible would never have mentioned it. Perfect love casts out fear.
Okay. Yes.
You get me? So what is perfect love? Perfect love is unconditional love.
Okay.
No human being can love you unconditionally until God has loved you unconditionally. Because human beings have fallen. You get it? We are being saved. If you're saved, then you're just moving on, being transformed. You get it? To learn that you can actually love without fear. Now, this is what happens. Perfect love drives out fear. We are suffering from the fear of rejection. So who's going to take me for me? You've had people say, nobody's going to take you for you except your mama. Right? But actually it's Jesus who's going to take you for you. So he has the unconditional love. Now you connect to him vertically.
Okay.
So when you connect with God, at that time now, you know, he owns you, he loves you. Now, when you realize, you mean he has taken me with all the filth? Yes. He has cleansed me? Yes. Now I am confident of who I am.
Okay.
I am loved. I am accepted. Now I don't fear to be rejected. Because I'm already, accepted from within. I belong to God. So I'm not scared of any girl. When I reach out to a girl, I want to give her my overflow out of my fullness.
Okay.
Because I have love. I'm not going to a girl. I don't sit there and I say, I'm looking for a woman who will be there for me, who will know me, who will support me, who will understand me, who will never cheat on me. No. You don't need a woman, you need Jesus. You get me? You don't need a woman, you need who?
Jesus.
Jesus, because Jesus is the one who's going to first clear up all your fears. He accepts you and loves you and all that. Then when you're full, then he says, go and share of what you have. That is the fullness of love. And this is where most people mess it. When I came out, when I walked with God in that path, as he was teaching me, I learned unconditional love. I was accepted. Now, I wasn't looking at every girl like potential. No, I just looked at them as my sisters. No matter how beautiful you are. And I just said, I know there's somebody. I said, God, give me a woman that I can show love the way you've loved me. I wasn't looking for a woman who has A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. That's fear.
Right.
When you are so much connected with the unconditional love, you know that he will give you something that will overwhelm you. You're so confident that he loves you and that he will not bring something that will get you running haywire. No. And that's the same thing. I'm talking about my life. He told me, and that's how I'm teaching. You get it? So I stood up. I said, just give me a woman that I will love and show them what you've shown me. That's what God desires from every man. Give me a woman that I will show love the way you've shown it to me. Because we love because he first loved us. So you cannot go and love when you don't know how much you've been loved.
You can't give what you don't have.
You can't give what you don't love. So when you know how much God has loved you, you've received the love. And now when you reach out, you're going to meet her and say, when God says, yeah, that's her, you go meet her, you say, I'm going to marry you. I don't need to talk about whether I have a car, whether what. In fact, I'll even tell you here, for now, you don't see a car around me, but I'm a very good person who'll take care of you. Cars will come in. I'll be there for you. I will love you. I'll protect you. I'll be all this. Because that's what marriage is all about. You're willing to share the love of God and bring it out. I'll show you what Genesis says. Well, we usually get everything wrong. He says, it is not good for the man to be alone. He never says the man was lonely.
This way they get it wrong. Because they keep thinking that the man was wrong.
No. Lonely people don't need marriage. Lonely people need God.
Okay.
They don't need marriage.
You could be even married when you are lonely.
When you're lonely. Yes. Exactly. Marriage does not cure loneliness. Because Adam was not lonely. He was alone. You can be alone without being lonely. And you can be in a crowd and you're lonely.
True.
So Adam was alone. And he said, it is not good for the man to be alone. Mark these words. You see, the Bible is so loaded. It is not good for the man
to be
alone, not a boy. Now there's a specific definition of this man. It is not good for the man. Which man? This is a man who is connected with God. This is a man who has a relationship with God. The word relationship means connection.
Okay. Relationship connection.
So when you're relating, you're connecting.
Okay.
You get me?
I get you.
So Adam was naked and he connected with God.
With God.
And so he received all the love. So the reason saying it is not good for the man to be alone is this. Oh, how can I demonstrate this? Okay, we're here. We don't have this, but this is how it works. You have a bottle, okay? You fill it up with water, and then the water begins to overflow. Okay? Now, when it begins to overflow, it is not good.
Okay. When it's spilling
You
over.
got to find somewhere to pour it so that we keep filling it.
Okay.
You get me? So it is not good for the man to be alone. Why? Because he's overflowing. There's love that I have given him. We've shared, connected together. I've given him love and he's overflowing. It's flooding. It is not good for him. He's got to learn the way I connected with him. He's got to go out and connect with the other who is like him and pour out
To her.
to her of what he has received by hooking up with me.
No, I understand. When you mentioned that, it takes me back to when God fed the 5,000 men on the mountain.
Yeah.
And there remained, there was a balance of 12 baskets.
Yes.
And he told them to do what?
Gather everything.
Gather them. So God is not a waste of resources.
No. He's not a waste of
when
resources.
yes.
When you're overflowing, you got to take it out.
Takes it out.
So the woman is there. You enter marriage because you're so solid. You're a lover. You're a giver. Now, when dudes don't want to give, it's because they're so empty. They got nothing to give. You know, you can't go around and say, no, I don't. These women are taking so much from me. They're taking so much from me. What am I going to stay with? What am I? No.
Okay.
No.
Give.
You're a giver. You see, in vernacular in Luganda, there's a word that describes such people. It's called abarenzi.
Okay.
Balenga bulenzi. Balenga omukwano gwa kulengako tegugwawo.
Oh, when you're mulenzi.
Olengako bulenzi tegugwawo. But a real man is overflowing.
Okay.
They will take you the way you were because God took them the way they were. That's the unconditional love. You may have been raped, abandoned, forsaken. Nobody's there for you. I don't ask the rest. All I need is to show you what love is. Okay. And you show up, I say, I don't care. Well, I was raped and that's why I'm here to protect you. Well, I was forsaken. That's why I'm here never to leave you. Well, all this, and if you're daddy, it's my responsibility to clean you up. Oh, she talks a lot, then teach her how to talk right. Well, she's so screaming. I mean, she always controlling. Show them. It's your responsibility to clean because you're overflowing with love. So now, these other things are nothing. Possessions, nothing. Why? Because you see, I can give you without loving you.
All right.
But I can't love you without giving you. You get me? For God so loved the world that
he gave.
When you love, the next thing that comes in is giving. Now, before I give you any other thing, the first thing I got to give you is me.
Okay.
And how do I give you me?
Talk about it.
This is how we do it. And the man and woman were both naked but not ashamed.
Okay.
So I don't fear rejection. I tell you, this is me. Actually, I'm living in a one-roomed house. It's a studio. And this is me, but I'm telling you, I'm able to love you. I'm able to be there for you.
You're honest with
I'm able to protect you. I strip naked. That's how I give me. You get me? You see, this is how it happens. Have you ever been in a basement? And you're trying to make a call?
And the network is...
What is happening? Because of that concrete.
The layers of concrete.
The layers of concrete. The connection doesn't happen. You get it? Now, there are many people that are even watching us that are here that got layers of concrete. because of the fear of rejection, and God hasn't come in. Now there are layers of concrete. I remember the first girl, she was called Anita. I talked to her, and Anita disappointed me. Anita went with another man, so now I got to protect myself. If I'm going to go back in a relationship, and then you protect yourself, the next day you meet Ann, and Ann does something, and then things don't work out. Now you got another layer of protection, another layer of protection. Now by the time you meet Susan, you got all these layers around you.
5 layers.
5 layers around you. And you're reaching out to Susan, but she's got to be at a distance, because I don't want to be hurt. Every time you get hurt, you protect. Every time you get hurt, you close. Every time you get hurt, you close. And the reality is this: you can't connect because there are layers. Layers of the pain you've gone through, of the hurt you've gone through. Now you're full of fear. If I remove the layers,
then you'll flow.
I'm going to be hurt again.
I'm going to be hurt again. This will be over. This will be over. But I won't allow anybody to hurt me again. Nobody's going to take advantage of me again. No. I'll tell you this. Love gives the advantage. You're not afraid of being taken advantage of. You're too full of love. Do you think God is up there and say, man, nobody take advantage of me? Ooh, I know you guys. I know you people. No. He's so open. I mean, you do stupid, he says, come. You do stupid again, he says, come. You do stupid. I will love you until you change. Because the reason you're doing stupid is because you're too fearful. And then in fear, you close.
It's too protective.
You close yourself. You become protective. And then it becomes all about you. And when it becomes all about you, it digs more emptiness in you. We are not designed to keep to ourselves. That's why it's not good for the man to be alone. I will make someone so that the man can go for them. Okay. I will make someone so that the man can go for them. So in reality, this is how it works. This is how it comes out. I open up. I remember when I met my wife. I looked at her, said, I want to talk to you. First time we met somewhere. And I prepared myself. I prepared a cake. I prepared a photographer, somebody, so that I could be able, because God told me, that's your baby, and she's so beautiful. So I looked at her, I said, okay, I'm going for her. So prepared a cake, got a photographer there, did everything I could. And then she showed up. It was in a place called Steers.
Okay.
Some of you young people may never know there was a place called Steers. That was the best place. Forget about CJ. There was Steers, I'm telling you. So I called her in. Why was I doing all of that? Because I had love. Now I start giving. You get me? So I brought out a cake. I ordered a cake, and they brought it in. When she came, we sat. She said, okay, so you called me. I said, yeah, I called you here. And the reason I called you is to let you know that I appreciate who you are. You're so beautiful. I love you. And I'm going to marry you.
Right away. On the first date?
Yeah.
Okay, because these guys, they said, you can't talk about, ladies always say, you can't talk about marriage the first time, the first interaction.
The first to know that.
Well,
you need time.
When God brought the woman.
They'll take you for a player.
You see, all those are forms of fear. These fears have really twisted God's plan. You get me?
Yeah.
I looked at her and said, I'm going to marry you. She was scared. She said, no, you can't marry me. I'm not ready for marriage. I said, I'm not marrying you today, so don't be scared. I'm marrying you 3 years from today. A real man, you're ready. You're not taking anybody's daughter anyhow. You're ready. You've planned everything. Marrying you 3 years from today. She looked at me, couldn't say a word. Before she could even say something, the cake guy showed up. And brought in the cake. I'd already talked to the restaurant. I told them something is going to be happening tonight. So please bear with me. The cake guy showed up. And when the cake guy showed up, she said, what's going on? I said, open it up. And she opened it up, and there was congratulations.
And then
Cyrus, that's me, and Robbie. That's how.
At the proposing, the very first date.
Very first date. But, I mean, you see, when you open up,
Yes.
you got nothing to hide.
Yes, not really.
What am I keeping away from her?
Could that be the reason as to why the Bible says, and God told Adam to name all things. Then he realized among all the things that he had named, there was no suitable helper.
No suitable helper.
He made him lie down to sleep. That means Adam himself was full of love.
Yes.
And when he was cut, I want to imagine he was cut and they removed a rib. That means that which is going to be your wife has to come from you.
Yes.
The love has to ooze from you.
Yes, sir.
So that's what you did.
That's the reality. And the way you put it out.
Okay.
It comes from me. And allow me to add this.
Yeah.
Men watching us all over the globe, we are designed to give.
Okay.
The woman exists because the man surrendered himself.
Okay.
And it was taken out and the woman was formed. You get me?
It was the act of giving.
Yes. And this is what happens. When they brought the cake and she read, before she could do anything, the photographer was taking pictures. And the waitresses brought in the knife and the saucers. Because I'd already talked to everyone. You see, love and planning work together. Okay? You don't say, oh, I love you, but you ain't got any plans in you. How are you going to bring out and demonstrate the love? God has planned his love very well from Genesis after the fall of man.
Exactly.
And it is still ongoing. So somebody says, I love you, but can't even plan. When are we going to get married? When is this going to be? Has no plan. That ain't love. That's ridiculous. Now, this is what I did. She looked, then I grabbed the knife. I held it. And I told God, she's going to join me in faith. I say, you see, when you join me, this is evidence that 3 years from today,
You'll be marrying me.
I'm going to be putting a ring on your finger. And she looked at me. You know, I think it took about probably 30 seconds, but it felt like forever when my hand was in the air. And then she reached out and touched.
Okay.
I said, you're done. You're finished. And we cut the cake.
You got the cake.
Now,
First date.
First day. Now, what I bring out is this. From there, then we started developing. I started telling her, I was a bad boy before I came to Christ. Bad boy.
Bad boy.
Okay? So I never covered anything. I told her this is how I was before I came to Christ. This is how I lived my life. I was bad. But if you think that disqualifies me from marrying you, it's okay. But today, you're seeing the best man you'll ever find in this whole wild, wide globe. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. I mean, that's the confidence that I have. I know how much God has loved me, how much he has cleansed me. I'm so confident.
Yes.
I said, so, what do you think? I was opening up. I told her the girls I had before. I told her everything. I know today they say, no, don't say that stuff. They will reject you. That's fear of rejection. Those are people who don't know love. So I told her everything. When I told her everything, and it was like I was speaking to an angel. And it was like you bring an angel and the devil, and then you bring them together, you know?
Right.
But she looked at me and said, I understand, it's all right. I say, so you still love me? Yes.
Because I've been told that ladies hardly say I love you on the very first time when the conversation is just beginning.
Now, you see, it's so dangerous to move by. I'll show you this. If you're driving on our Ugandan roads, and probably traffic starts, the jam builds up, and then you see some of these taxis driving on the shoulders, and everybody's driving on the shoulders, and then you say, you know what? I think the best thing, when we're going through the jam, learn how to drive on shoulders. Because people drive on shoulders. No, 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 no. You see, simply because the God does this and that, that is not how things are. Their ways things are done, and they're still there according to the word of God, the way things are done. I did that. Then I started telling everything about me. She knew by then I had one pair of shoes, and she knew everything. I had a few shirts, but I would keep them clean. You get me? I would bathe. That is so important to the guys. I would bathe. I would use deodorants. You get me? I had to keep myself clean, even with the little that I had. You see, faithful in little is faithful in much. You get me? And so that's how I started. When I started in that manner, because I loved her, she was working and she was making money. I was a preacher. And you know, those days, really, preachers don't make good money. You know?
They were even, they were not classified, looked at as...
They were looked at as just wasted, you know? But I stood and I told her, she was working, and I said, okay, God, now this is the woman you've given me. I have to start taking care of her. And listen to this. You see how positions just fall in? It's not anything major. I'm not talking about anything major. You get it? I'm looking at connecting. The reason I stripped naked before her, that means I opened up everything that I am, was so that the layers could go away, and then the connection could happen.
Come through.
You get a common denominator.
Yes. You see, without opening up, you can't connect. When I opened, she opened up and appeared like an angel just fell from heaven. And here, meeting with Lucifer. But we opened up, and the connection came. The reason the connection never happens is people don't open up.
There's so many layers.
There's so many layers, so they're so scared. Fear is ruling them. But that's what I did, and when I did, the connection happened. And when the connection happened, to this day, there's no fear, there's no doubt, there's no fear at all. No fear at all. And allow me to say this. When the connection has happened and the relationship is going on, ladies, gentlemen, get this. You know the Bible says, a man shall leave his father and mother,
Right.
and shall cleave
Cleave to it.
to his wife.
His partner.
You get me?
Yes.
Do you know what the Bible says of the woman? At times they tell the woman, you also have to leave. But the Bible never talks about the woman leaving.
Living. I've actually thought about that thing. Why does it...
It's this. The man had been loaded. Now it was his responsibility to go and pour. You get me? The woman does not leave. The woman is left.
The woman is left.
Yeah.
It's the man who lives and...
The man leaves, the woman is left. Okay, let me make it clear. Let me make it clear. The man leaves, the woman is left. When God brought the woman, came with this creature and placed this creature there.
Oh, okay, she left God and came
God left the creature
Before the man.
there before the man. That's why then the man identified the creature and said, this is bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of the man. Now, that is where marriage begins. Marriage doesn't begin when, oh, it's not good for the man to be alone. No. Marriage begins when the man gets a revelation of equality. Oh, I know this is
Equality.
this is
It's becoming heavy.
it's becoming heavy, Pastor. Man leaves. Marriage begins when the man gets a revelation of equality with the woman.
Okay.
Bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh.
Compatibility.
Equality.
Equality. Okay. Bone of
Because
bone.
whatever is in the crumbs is in the loaf. All right? Whatever, if you have a loaf of bread and you take off one slice. Does the slice carry a few ingredients compared to the loaf?
No, it's the same.
No, it's the same.
Bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. Equality. You see, marriage doesn't begin unless there's equality. The revelation of equality. Show me marriages that are falling apart. The man believes I'm better than you. Or I'm greater. Okay. Show me marriages falling apart. One of them thinks I'm greater than you.
Okay.
And treats the other as
there
trash.
There has to be equality.
Equality. Look, even in the Bible, in the books of Moses, this is what God declared and commanded. Do not mix an ox and a donkey to tread. And the Apostle Paul brings it out in Corinthians and he says, unequally yoked.
All right.
Do not yoke an ox and a donkey. Do not yoke an ox and a donkey. Why? They're not equal.
Okay.
If you're going to yoke, there's got to be equality. To yoke is to make one. There's got to be equality. So do not be unequally yoked. Yoking. That word we read as joined is actually the word yoke. You get me? So you discover that the moment you know this is my equal, you're willing to give everything. And that's how it happened to me. I was willing to give. At that time I could afford pads. Yes, I could afford pads because I discovered my body, now that we are one, my body bleeds every month. That's how God has made it. So who takes care of that body that bleeds every month? Who takes care of it? So I went to the supermarket, gathered in pads, and I brought them to her. And she almost fell out and said, "Oh Lord, what did you... Oh, who told you?" I said, let me tell you, I know what you go through every month. Don't you go through it?
He said, I do.
Yes, but I said, no. Now, I was teaching her how to accept love.
And to
how to
get rid
love.
of fear.
Get rid of fear.
Be
you
expressive.
Get it? Yes.
Freely.
Because I had been loaded, now I had to help her come out of any form of fear. So I brought that. And to this day, I've never stopped. But I started with pads. In fact, one time I was traveling the world and I received a text and said, "Honey, where do you buy the good ones?" That was the question. Where do you buy the good ones? She had even forgotten.
She freaked out one time.
Because it's been years. I've been taking responsibility. I was so ashamed. I said, "Oh man, how did they get used up without me knowing?" I said, "Because of that devil, you are going to feel it because I'm going to get mad. I'm going to load an entire suitcase of pads." And I loaded an entire suitcase from the States and brought it in.
The good ones.
Strictly the best. Strictly for her. Loaded an entire suitcase, paid for it.
Branded.
Yes, paid for it and brought it in. But when I bought the pads, that was the beginning.
Yes.
You get it? Man, you don't start giving from where you're not. You start giving from where you are.
Where you are.
You get it? So I had no time to boast. When a guy boasts, that's not love, because love does not boast.
All right.
When you meet a guy and he says, "Oh, you know me, my mama, my papa, no love.
No love there.
The next thing I bought for her,
What?
2 skirts
Okay.
and 2 tops. And they were matching.
Okay.
You know where I bought them from? Shauriako.
Okay.
Hey, in Shauriako.
Downtown.
Shauriako.
Downtown.
Now, Shauriako
Awilo.
literally means, you guys know better than me, no return policy.
No receipts.
No receipts, no nothing. Whatever happens, that's all. Every negative
Up to
is
you.
Shauriako. Not returnable. You know, so I did what I could, brought them. She was like, "Man, what is this?" Years later, I told her, "That's what I can afford." You get it? Let me tell you, women are not looking for Bill Gates. Somebody genuine. Somebody who can open up. Somebody who can say, "You know what, this is what I have. Somebody, this whole thing of, oh no, they won't listen to you. Hey, walk away from those. Women are there. They need somebody who will be genuine and say, I'm going to marry you, and they mean it. And that's what I did. I brought in my clothes. Today, I can't go to shauri yako. Amen. There's no thing that she wants and I can't bring it. But I can't shop in shauri yako anymore. Amen. I can't shop there anymore, but I started from there. I accepted.
And she accepted you.
And she accepted me. And then I went moving on. Today we've flown, visited nations, going out for vacations, whatever, anything that she wants. The car I'm driving, that one out there, is hers. It's not mine. I don't have anything. Because everything I bring in, I give it to her.
You are equal.
We are equal, but I find myself putting it in her names. In her names. One time a man told me, what if she turns? I said, she can turn. It's okay. Even if she turns, she will walk around the world, but she will remember it was Cyrus. No man can love me like that man loved me.
She'll get back again.
She will come back. So I don't live in fear. You know, I don't live in fear. So in simple terms, you start with age. And I've shown you it begins with discovering who created you. So age shouldn't be the real thing now. You get it? So when you make the connection, you relate so well, realize your body can be ready without you being ready. Amen? So how do you get ready? That's the next phase that I presented. You connect up. Now you don't get married, you don't reach out to a girl because you want to have sex. Those are benefits. But you want to show her what love is. You want to demonstrate to her what love is. Because God has already shown it to you. So you take the fear out of her. Hell that out of her, and then she knows I'm protected. That's my knight in shining armor.
Okay.
That's my knight in what?
Shining armor.
All a woman needs is to know I belong.
Security.
Exactly. I belong. You want to mess with me?
I'll call Rod.
I belong. You get it? I belong. And because she's so sure of it, there's no fear. Or he might get another woman. Or he might, No, that fear comes in because the connection is failing.
It's faint.
You get it?
And there's a vacuum that's not filled.
Exactly. Because, you know, the Bible says, walk in the light that you might have fellowship.
Yeah.
One with another. Now, that's why I say, to connect, we remove the layers, we open up. If I have a child before I met you, I'll say, there's a child. So you either take me for me, or you keep up with the layers and the connection fails. And where the connection fails, these are the things of possessions, age, that we are dealing with the wrong things. It's about how to connect.
It's about the connection.
Properly. Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to give back to the crowd, give them an opportunity to say something.
My name is Emily Katokwa.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here.
It's a pleasure.
And now, from our
guest.
Our guest there, I have a question, and I have also something to implement on your message. Now, like me, I'm a woman, and women, we need someone, men to open up for us. But you can find a man who is not opening up. You may think maybe you are not
good enough.
You are not what he wanted. So when someone opens up, even if he has nothing at all, but he shows,
you get to know from the start.
For you.
Yes.
You see, now for me, I don't have anything, but what I know, I will love you.
Yes.
Really, I'm telling you, women, we love that. Mostly when you may be Christian, but we love that openness. Than someone who will come now.
Promise heaven
I
now.
have this. My parents, they are
Left
the
with
owner
this.
of that building. What? No, me, I need you. I don't need your parents. So, you are parent is not going to marry,
To marry me.
It's
you.
What I want is you.
Yes.
Just what I want is love.
Be you.
Yes.
Nothing
Yes.
else. Because we know that when we are together, I feel you are giving me enough love. I know
Yes.
that we are going to work together
Yes.
and
Yes.
get what we want.
Yes.
So that one really, thank you so much for that. Those men should also learn. We don't want the word is just, we just need action. And
Yes.
So another thing is that they are now the Christians, they think ladies, they think they know we need to first dream the man who is going to marry me, and yet you have explained very well.
Yes.
Ladies, they are put there for you to look
see.
at them.
Yes.
So they are those one who are going astray.
Yeah, that's a
that-
very serious
Yes.
point, by
Then
the way.
they are going that no.
I did not see you.
I want first to
Circular.
dream.
Yes.
Or I want God should first
To
tell
talk to
me.
me.
Yes.
That this one.
Mukama yandaze.
Astray. When they remember, they might be loving you, but I want first God to first
To
tell
talk.
me.
To tell me which one.
Okay.
Get a dream. What? So that one also we have learned that men they are ladies
They are
put
created
there.
to see.
To be looked
Men
at.
to see them
To
and
see them.
admire them and
take.
them. So they are not going to live. They are going to. They are left there to be taken.
Yes.
The eyes are on the head. And if the
Yes.
man is going to be the head, then the eyes must be there to see,
Yes.
not the rib to see the
Yes.
to see the head.
Mark that
Thank
one.
you so
Pass
much.
thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Rita Karamel. I was following your conversation,
Yeah.
so I would want to know,
Yeah.
when you were approaching her,
Yeah.
did you have plan B in case
Just in case.
she banned you?
I didn't have.
What had you prepared in case she didn't go the way you wanted, in case things did not turn up the way you wanted?
Now, it's very, very, very difficult when somebody has walked with God and they've received from God to really have contingency plans, to have plan B when God has spoken to you. So I never had plan B. That's why I could even prepare a cake. That's why I could even hire a
For the
photographer.
audience.
I could even let the restaurant know
The whole
what
restaurant.
was going to happen because I knew that God was with me. There's no plan B. I knew whatever it takes, it was with me. He was with me. So if she was going to say, no, I don't want you, nah, I would say, no problem. But I'm going to be here when
I'll
you
wait on you.
are ready. I'll
Get
be
back
here.
on me.
But I never had any plan B.
Yeah, Mr. Dan, you weren't here. The way he approached his lady, on the first date, he had prepared the cake. He had alerted the whole restaurant in the background, brought the photographer in the background. When he was proposing on the very first date, he just told the lady, I want to marry you. And the photographer comes in, and the cake comes in. Things were happening. That's why everyone was like, risk taker. First date,
But I think,
first shot.
I think just adding to what he said, when you walk with God and you are identifying from the flock of God, when you come to this lady, she does not have this thing called relationship. She knows that the relationship will matriculate into marriage. Because there's no gap of this kind of, relating like the world does.
Yeah.
So you are in a flock of God, and when you go to tell the lady, she knows that this will end up in marriage. Because when it fails, the author of love, who is God, is there. So the reason why he was confident, he was going to run back to God.
Yes.
And he already had in his system that, I have enough God and enough love.
Yes.
So when I go out there, God is going with me.
Yes.
Back me up.
When it fails, I have that back door.
Yes.
I'll go back and pray.
Fall back on him.
Yes.
And will connect again.
Yes.
Because God has given him the responsibility of finding a wife. So when he goes back and say, hey, you told me if I would find a wife, I would find a good thing. Why didn't you go with me? So whatever goes wrong, it will be just done in the background. Then by the time he comes back, he's already found, he already has the backing of God. Yet God is also the owner of the one he's going for.
That's true.
Now, this is my question, sir.
Yes.
Do women have preparation to do? Because you've spoken about men
Yes.
going with outpouring. Is there a possibility of finding a girl instead of a woman? And number two, how do girls prepare to becoming women in order to be identified?
Now,
Because I could love a girl.
yes.
Is that possible?
When you love a girl, then you grow her into a woman.
All right.
That's one of the things. So the best thing that a girl can do, or any female can do,
Yeah.
is what we also do.
Okay.
Connect vertically first. Receive the unconditional love so that the fear in you is dispelled.
All right.
You get it? So that when a man comes, they're not doing you a favor.
You are not a half, he's not a half.
He's
but
not
with-
half and half don't make one to
Also,
God.
this vocabulary, better have.
No, that's
It's a
nonsense.
wrong one. Okay.
Yeah,
my
it
bad.
is one and one that make one,
Okay.
according to God.
Yeah.
So you connect and you are made whole. There's no fear in you, so you are ready to give love. You're ready to reach out. No fear in you. So the same thing works for both of us.
All right.
But God gives the man the lead,
The bigger
not because
responsibility.
he's, thank you, not because he's superior,
Yeah.
but because it's responsibility.
All right.
You get it? So when the woman connects with God very well, she's developed. And you know, you're triggering me into something so big. Would you say, how does one become a woman? Because it's going to come out to the one who becomes a man.
All right.
It comes out in the same way. You see, the Apostle Paul says in 1 Corinthians, when I was a child,
Acted as a
I spoke like a child, thought like a child, acted like a what?
child.
A child. When I became an adolescent, huh?
An adult.
An adult.
Yes.
No. He never mentioned adulthood.
All right.
He never mentioned adolescence. Because those things don't exist in God.
Mature.
In God, they don't exist.
That
He
vocabulary
said,
is not there.
when I became a man, to God it's child, man. So if you're a man, if you're not a man, you're a child.
There's no
Irrespective of your age.
The transition there.
No.
How's it
There's
come?
there's nothing.
Okay.
You either cross and be a man, or you're still a child. You're either still a woman,
Or a girl.
or a girl, still a child. This whole thing is what human beings come up with. Adolescence, that time where you can be stupid, but you're not held accountable for your stupidity. Huh?
There's no that.
You get me? So you leave them. I was going through my Twitter account and I was saying NBS talking about, oh, is it Kiromo? Tell us what you do, Kiromo. Now, they get every young person to go dance. They think every young person has got to dance and do all that, where you behave irresponsibly, but you're not held accountable for your irresponsibility. That is a phase that destroys any development
Okay.
that you are supposed to get.
All right.
But being a woman and being a man, how do I grow? When I became a man. 1 Corinthians 13 is, Paul is describing love.
Okay.
When you become a man, you have understood love.
Okay.
When you become a woman, you have understood love. Thought like a child, talked like a child, acted like a child. What is the number one characteristic of children? Can somebody help me? I'll say
Responsibility.
irresponsibility, which comes out of self-centeredness.
Okay.
A child only thinks about me, myself, and I. You get me?
Yeah.
So they're selfish by nature. There is no love. So that means the only way I become a man is when I'm not selfish.
Okay. When you go beyond selfishness.
Where I no longer think about just me, but I'm thinking about the other. You get me? Mm-hmm. When I'm not thinking about me, but how best can the other benefit? I'm not selfish. I'm not self-centered. That's manhood. Real manhood is love. Real manhood is not muscle. Real manhood is not the deep voice. Real manhood is love. Love. Real womanhood is love. Because there are only two options. You're either a child or you're a man. When I became a man, I put childish ways behind. Now, when you put childish ways behind, what are the childish ways? Selfishness. What do you remain with? When you put selfishness away, what do you remain with? Love. Which is selflessness. Love. You get me? So now that I remain with love, I've put childish and selfishness away. When I was a child, thought like a child, talked like a child, everything. In other words, if I see a girl, I'm thinking, what's in it for me? Ooh, hey, how can I get her? No. You think about it. Then you see a girl and you feel like, ooh, if I can take her to bed. Before you take her to bed, think about her. Okay? Have you put a ring on her finger? Are you committed to her? Do you think about if she gives birth outside wedlock, who's going to protect her? Who's going to come after that? Do you think about that? Can you still be willing to cover her? No, but when she came, she said she felt things in her. Yes, she felt things in her. Your role as a lover is to protect her even the more. Don't say she felt she was wet, so I had to help her. No. You cover her. You protect her. That's what love is. Love does not seek its own interests, but seeks the interests of another. So that is what a man does. That is what a woman does. The man can say, ooh, say, no. This is how I can protect
Pastor
you.
Rod, when you share that, you remind me, there's a lady, there's a guy who attempted to rape some lady. So fixed her in a corner in a building and said, today, either work on you, there's a knife, or remove your clothes.
Yes.
It's got to happen now.
Yes.
So what this lady did, he said, it's okay, it's fine. No, you don't have to fight. You don't have to hurt me.
Yes.
Hold on. Just allow me to say one prayer in 1 minute. Then I'll get my clothes off.
Yes.
And they said, 1 minute? Go on. So the lady knelt down. He said, dear Lord, the time has come. I've kept myself faithful. But now, there comes this guy standing here. I'm going to give myself to him. But before I do that, I pray one thing, Lord, that this guy has his sister. If I was his sister or his mother and his whatever, he started breaking,
Cousin,
in the same situation, would he be? So he started saying, Lord, as the prayer went on and on, the guy told him, hey, please. I'm not in it now, I'm out of it, Because it was reminding of the mother, of the sisters, of the whatever.
It was about this woman had a relationship with God. And that's security, really. That's security. But the best thing is the love thing. Manhood is about love. Womanhood is about love. Anybody in between, you're either a child
or a man.
Or a man. You're either a child
or a woman.
Or a woman. There's nothing in between there. And how do you change?
Pastor Rod, there's a burning question over the other side.
Okay.
Please carry on. Come on.
My name is Virinda. There's a question I want to ask, and then I want to compliment on the two ladies. She asked something, like she told us something.
Yes.
And then she also said something that I loved.
Yes.
She told you, like when
Did
you
I
go
have
to
plan B?
yeah,
Plan B.
you have plan B. So one thing I know is that we do all the things, but in actual sense, you don't have to think that everything has to go as planned. You understand? And what she said, we women, we only need men. We only
We're
need
honest.
men. We don't like maybe your assets, maybe your mother or something. But one time, I was sitting in a restaurant.
Yes.
Carry on, Mo.
There were like 3 ladies, and then one said, man, they were speaking vernacular. They said, you know, nafunye guy na ye aina mukusenta aina muchina ye. The other one said, nangi jagala ina sente. So one said, tonyumiza amuntu ataina sente. Omuntu omwavu ne wana batatukula.
Tawunya bulungi.
So in actual sense, when you approach a lady, first of all, when you say, hey lady, hi, how are you? One thing she would do, first of all, she will look you
From the bottom, they check the shoe.
She'll quantify you.
Take the shoe.
First of all, when she looks at you,
She
then
weighs you.
after weighing you, then she will see whether
You can worth her audience.
or not.
The wallet.
You understand?
Yes.
Wallet and
So,
gadgets.
saying that, we all say that we don't have to fear or something that you should go and tell a lady, you know, I'm this, I don't have money, but I really love you and I want to do this. In actual sense, if one time someone, if sometime someone comes and then tells you, you know, I love you, but this and this, okay, we'll give them a chance. Even if it's me, maybe I'm a man, but in actual sense, I believe that there is no love without like
Possessions.
everything or money or something. You understand? Because if maybe like her.
Maybe if because you're bringing in a lot, but I understand where you're going.
Exactly.
There's no love without possessions.
Possessions and
I
money.
think that is a mere sentiment, but it's not the reality. You see, when you sit and you find women saying, oh, I can love her, taina sente, no money, whatever, it doesn't mean that's how things are. You get me? That's a woman speaking out of ignorance. But you see, God declared his operations and says this is how things work. I'll give you a very good example. Look at the world's top 10 billionaires. Do you know almost 60% are divorced?
Sure.
You know? Jeff Bezos,
Yes.
divorced. Elon Musk, divorced. Bill Gates.
Just the
I
other
mean,
day,
you keep going down.
with
They
all
have
the
all the
money.
money.
Yes.
They have all the money.
Yes.
But they don't know
But they
how to
can't keep
love
a
a
marriage.
woman. They can't keep a woman
Yes.
with all the,
The
money. Now when you hear women say, oh, it's ignorance. It's ignorance.
They've never been loved.
They've never been loved,
They
so
don't
they
know the
usually
language.
hide in the layers.
In the layers.
You get it? So they say, I know love may not be there, but I will eat money. Now you see, that is all failure. We don't settle for less. Look at a man like Elon Musk. How much does he have?
That's everything.
Everything. He can't keep a woman.
And the woman walks.
Bill Gates, everything can't keep a woman. Jeff Bezos, everything can't keep a woman. What is happening? It's not that, they can't be loved if there is no money. No. The guys who have money are crying. Man,
Give
the
me
hands have shot up so much.
Okay. Let's be brief with the questions quickly. So it's got run.
Cyrus,
Yes.
Oh, my namesake. Okay. Pleasure is mine.
yeah, we talked about overflow of love.
Yes.
We've had people having more than one partner.
Yes.
And you meet someone saying, I have too much love. Like, my woman can't even contain it. Yeah, we meet such people.
But without money.
Yeah, so they're like, there should be someone else to contain this love that I have.
Okay. Overflow.
Yeah, like it's too much. Then, the other thing is about the current preachings. Like our sister said, you will go to churches and they say, wait until God tells you. Wait until God tells you. My dear, you will pray. Wait. Yet you're admiring someone, you're seeing someone like them, but you're waiting for God to speak.
To speak.
You actually find people in churches, they've taken a lot of time. You find women running out of age, still waiting
For God to speak.
Yeah.
Now, I think one of the things we need to really agree on, yes, God does speak, okay? We can't kick it out. God does speak. However, most of the things of waiting has also been because of our ignorance. We don't know what to do. So we somehow cover ourselves in waiting. That's the thing. And then the first thing of, I have too much love, I need more people to give it to. That is just, that's just a joke. Please.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Pastor Joseph. Thank you very much for the discussion that you have really discussed with us.
Amen.
And it's my prayer.
Yes.
But such a discussion, let it not end here.
Yes, sir.
We are calling it down the bottom.
Yes.
Because in the villages there, people are there, but they are ignorant about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
They are taken where we are.
I know.
They are taken third class, but to hear such information,
Yes.
it's a new thing to them.
Amen.
So it's my call that if this can go deep,
Yes. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Pass it over here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cyrus.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to talk to this gentleman.
Okay.
I'm a lady. I know what ladies go through.
Yes.
And this pretense of like this, the scenario that is taking place, find ladies saying, you know, I need a man who drives a Range Rover Sport, right?
Yes.
And the other is saying, man, mine drives Jeep, you know? And it's just a surface. They are pretending.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want to feel
The
it's
layers,
a layer.
yes.
It's a layer, but it's not reality. All we need is love. Every woman wants love, and every man wants love.
Okay.
And
I'm clapping along for all of this.
and the other thing is, what is breaking what is bringing what we call heartbreaks. It's because nowadays people are pretending to be not who they are. And now the people we are looking for, like people we want in lives, is those people who are realistic.
Yes.
If I have 1K, that is 1K, and
Yes.
your 1K. Better than telling me you have 100 and I get to find out that you don't have 1. So I would like to let the ladies and the gentlemen in the building know that just be who you are. That person who is supposed to be yours will finally come.
Amen.
And the other thing is, the youths we have, I would just want them to know that peer pressure doesn't do anything. It won't make you choose a better partner, but only God can do that. So
Yes.
Mr. Cyrus, I was
Yes.
blessed with your words.
Thank you.
Like, I do like Pastor Remy always tells us that relationships are not meant for children.
Yes.
But today you made it more
Yes.
clear for us. So like, a children is someone who is irresponsible, is selfish.
Selfish.
Like you
Egocentric.
said. Just know a relationship is not for anyone who is a child.
Thank you.
so much.
Amen.
So which means somebody can grow, a beard can grow in height, can
And
grow
you're still a
whatever, and
child.
still a baby.
Yes.
A child at 40.
A child at 40.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please, Kiria.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Killian, co-founder Naya1.
Wow.
For me, I know one thing is you always consider sustainability when you're doing something.
Thank you.
Whenever you make a decision and you front property or money, it's not sustainable,
Yes.
especially like a relationship.
Yes.
If you're looking for the rich guy, what if he gets broke? You know? If you're looking for that guy with the Range Rover, and you don't know how he
It
obtained
crashes.
Yes.
He probably borrowed it from me. You know?
Yes.
These things happen. At my first job, there was a guy. He was a driver to the MD of Airtel.
Yes.
Of course, he was driving an expensive car.
Yes.
But the way he was moving around, he was always smart in a suit. So the girls he met knew
He's the dude.
he's rich. He impregnated 6 girls
Okay.
in the company.
Oh my God.
6.
But all these, I believe, made the decision because
of the
Look
Look at
world.
his countenance.
The slayer.
status.
Exactly. So I met my wife when we were all unemployed in a foreign country. Those difficult times. So me, I believe if you front love,
Yes.
appreciate the person as they are.
Yes.
What they don't have, it's not their fault.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
So if you look at that first, then the rest will be easy. Even if the storms come and you
Thank
stand
you.
together.
Yes.
So those are just a few comments, but I say that this business of saying there is no love without
Money.
there is no love without money. No, it's there. Because
Thank
you've
you.
seen girls choose a poor guy
Yes.
in
Yes.
everyone's opinion,
Yes.
but this is the person they love.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. And by the
yeah, sorry.
let me add to that something probably I never shared. When I met this woman and we said we meet the mother and all this kind of stuff, the mother said, "You ain't marrying that poor guy.
Okay.
You're not marrying that poor boy. No, 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 no. Over my dead body. That won't happen." You get it? Now, my wife is from a certain, there's a certain region that has a lot of talk, and you don't cross this side, you don't do what, and there's a way they look at it, and so that's my mother-in-law, and she's like, "No, what's wrong with you? There are men that used to drive cars to this compound asking for your hand in marriage, and this dude comes on foot."
on foot.
Sweating. He comes on foot. When he has some money, he rides a border. And the next thing you're telling me you're marrying this fool. Said, "Let me tell you, daughter, take it from me. You're going to eat dust."
You're heading for
And she said, "Mama, don't fear. I'll cook it.
She'll cook the dust.
I'll cook the dust. Don't worry." I said, "Oh, no, but I think that man even goes underwater."
has bewitched you now.
I said, "Don't worry, Mama, we shall swim together." Where did she get all this confidence? Remember what we had built together. She knew who she was defending. She knew what was coming in. There was nothing I could hide. She was willing to go all the way. But today, really, I'm not the poor guy that I was called before.
You don't cook dust.
No, I don't cook. My woman doesn't cook dust. She does everything. God has been gracious to us.
And
So,
Pastor, to add on that, you see, when you are in a perfect relationship and someone comes in between using money or something else, what happens that even if you go with that someone, your heart will still remain behind. That's why whatever you do, you tell other people, "Gendo Mugambe, kati mvuga Range Rover." That means you are still a prisoner in there. You are locked in love.
Yes.
And that's why David said in his prayer, he said, "God, bring back my heart to its position."
yes.
Komiao ememeang. Because love is a soul thing. You cannot address it using a flesh currency. It's like going to Dubai and you want to use Burundi francs to buy something in Dubai. Love begins with God. And whatever you use to replace God will never work.
That's true.
So you will be bound to love. That's why you plait hair and you tell your friends, "Go and tell him, Ajala veche yasubwa." Why? Because you are still connected to them, to him or to them or whatever. So that's what I wanted to bring.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
Okay. Just a brief one, please. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is so wonderful, so good, so teaching. Now, I was, before I got married also, there is someone whom I loved.
Okay.
And for me now I feel like I love this one. Yet, the way the Bible says, the men, they are the one to love.
Yes.
And there is a woman who told me, never marry a person, a man whom you feel like you love that one. He should be the one to love.
To approach you.
Show love,
He should be the one to love you.
To reach out to you.
Don't love him. But for him, when he has too much love for you,
yes.
that is the person you
You should marry.
Because even if you don't love him, by the time you reach there, you are going to love him because he will be loving you. So that one really, women, I'm telling you, all girls, I'm telling you, you should get someone who loves you without any condition.
Amen.
Then again, for you to see this one, I love this one. You are not supposed to love this one. The men are supposed to love.
Let me help you cut across your point.
Yes.
Her point, what she's trying to express, is that you as a lady, when you wake up and you look at two guys, and there's one that you're attracted to so much, and the other one you're not. And the one you're not attracted to is approaching you, but the other one is not yet what? So he says, you're better off, you're safer with the one you don't love, but who is really dying for you,
Yes.
than the one that you're dying for, you love so much, but it's not reaching out. Then you start making out, kwetega, in making up certain ways to fall in love.
Question.
Yes.
What if this man loves you and you love him?
Okay.
That's good.
Is it okay?
Well, yes.
Your love must be responsive. You are responding to love.
There's a man behind. Oh.
Oh, you can carry on.
Thank you so very much. My name is Brian.
Brian.
I'm so grateful to be in this place. I was invited by a wonderful friend. Number one, I've been heartbroken once because of loving too much.
Because of loving too much. You see, I
Too
keep
much
telling
love.
ladies that men who still have so much love and they don't understand it. Carry on, please. Brian.
Because you love me too much to an extent that you don't give me gap
Mm.
to love you back. Yeah. So since then, I thought, of course, I started seeking for some advice.
Mm.
So
How to regulate.
And you created walls.
a few friends told me the best way you could handle this is by having over 6 girlfriends.
Okay, like back from the other guys, yes. Overflow.
So, but thank God. Thank God, at that time I was already a Christian and I had tasted of the love of God. And by the grace of God, I do not know why I was so driven by the love of God so much, to an extent that right now, I even went to a certain pastor and asked them if love and preaching love could be a calling. I am a gospel artist. I'm a gospel artist who reached a point of seeking of many ways of how to preach love.
To help the heartbroken.
Because I just feel it in me that
Yeah.
what people say about love, what people say about love is really not really right.
You feel they need to know
They
something.
need to know something. And I am so blessed that I've found a man that has the same heart. Because nevertheless, I did not act
The way they want.
Yeah, they advised you.
And I was wondering, am I in the box alone? Do I have people like me? Do I? And I'm so humbled. I do not know if this message goes to how many people, but I think it must be.
It must go out.
Pastor, to add on that, I wanted you to help us here.
Yes.
The difference between lust, love, infatuation, and obsession. Because some of them, they
mingle them.
They mingle them.
Yeah.
Now, in answering that, I think the world really affects us so much and influences us in a way. So it's something we have to fight against.
All right.
There's a group that sang a song, "Too Much Love Will Kill You." Na, 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 na. Now, that's very wrong. Otherwise, God would be dead. You know? Yes.
Because he's loaded.
He's loaded. He loves a lot. So when you love, there's just like when Jesus met Peter and the brethren when they were fishing.
Yeah.
You know, at that point you couldn't relate with fishermen. They were evil. They would speak vulgarity. They were, you know, fishermen were fishermen to this day.
Yeah.
But Jesus comes in and tells the guys, hey, throw your nets. In fact, he says, let me borrow your boat. He preaches. After preaching, he says, throw the nets. And then they make a huge harvest. The nets are breaking. And Peter gets up and says, no, get away from me.
I'm a sinner.
I'm a sinner. Get away from me.
Yeah.
You see, when people meet love and they compare to who they are, who can accept me the way I am? They call it too much love. So they run away. But when you sit them down and tell them, that's how it is. Let's open up. Let's get to know who you are. Let's get to know what is causing you to run away. You get me? What is causing you to run away? Too much love, there's nothing like too much love. There's love. So it's either genuine or not. And then when you see these words of lust, infatuation, obsession, now there's all of them are one and the same thing. Lust, infatuation, obsession. These ones are kids to this one.
Obsession
and infatuation.
Yeah.
They're all just the same because they're ruled by this one.
Lust.
Lust. Lust, in many cases, people look at it like it's, you know, just only sexual, but it's much more.
The fire.
Just the fire that burns. It's much more. Lust and love. Let's separate them. Lust is this. I am making a decision, or I've made a decision, to be able to get everything I can from you at your expense.
Oh, at your expense.
That is lust. Love, I'm willing to give you everything at my expense. Lust, I'll take everything from you at your expense. And to take it further, in other words, lust is selfishness. And furthermore, lust is literally you going in to get something that God has not given you. If God has not given it to you and you try to get it, by all means, it's lust. Because God has not given to you. That's why lust doesn't have patience. You get me? Love is what has patience. Lust doesn't have patience. Lust says, I'll get it. I'll get it.
No matter what.
At any cost. And love literally uses. Lust is all birthed by fear. I don't trust that God can provide, so let me go get it. I don't trust that I can be patient enough, so
This
let
could
me
be
just...
the only opportunity.
This could be the only opportunity. Lust is so closed up. It is selfishness. It's hatred. Now, the more you operate in it, that's where all the infatuations come in. No, you're either mine or you die. Infatuation, obsession. You know, it's all one thing, selfishness. But these words are built up and then we think there are many, but when it's actually one. Selfishness then produces lust. Because in love, you depend on God. In selfishness, you depend on you. So you're saying, I'm going to get whatever I can. So you don't trust that God can actually offer you. You see?
Okay. Good.
Man.
Carry on.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you because you answered a question I asked a friend a few days ago.
Oh, wow.
I had my own views about it.
Okay.
I was a strong, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos supporter. You just maybe understand that's a layer.
Yeah.
I don't want to say much because of time, but my question is, what if there are regional differences? Like,
Muslim.
she's a Muslim, and she like strongly believes in that, and
The
you
book
know,
says for.
like get the best of that. But also, what did you think is the lead the far influencer may?
Okay.
But if you could please answer that.
Thank you so much. You know, the beauty you guys brought out is that the largest percentage over here are born again. So many times people get scared of following that path. But he's the man, he's the author of love, he's the author of relationships. So if you're going to run it according to his terms. You get it. These guys have a camera, and that camera is over there. If he tries to operate it based on how it thinks and ignores the manual, that thing is going to collapse. Correct? Now, you have a Muslim girl, she's so pretty, you're like, Jesus. Oh, and you're a believer. Remember, saying marriage literally begins when equality is accepted. You get it? When you go for a Muslim girl, the Bible says, do not be unequally yoked. Because you're going to come into yoke with this person. The dangers of this, there's a way, he says, darkness and light do not mix. You see, this girl can be so pretty, but she's darkness. To God, she's darkness. So you don't go that path. You freely say, please.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Beautifully ugly.
Beautiful or whatever. Beautifully ugly. So please do what?
Carry on.
Carry on. So it's part of you building up real with God. When you have children, they're going to be divided. And I assure you, 98% they'll be Muslims. Because the woman has so much power. And influence on those babies.
On the babies, yeah.
Picks up the baby and say, Allah Akbar. and you're busy waiting to take the baby to church. By the time you think of going to church.
And his own bathing her.
His own bathing her.
So in the bathroom he plants another statement.
Plants another statement. And you're thinking, I'm waiting. By the time the baby gets to listen to you, the baby's already taking a different direction. You know, Allah. So these are some of the things God is telling us. And that's why I would tell in the Old Testament, told the children of Israel, do not marry foreign women. They will turn your hearts away from me. You see, even God is saying, man, don't mess with a woman. Don't mess with a woman. Yes, no matter how much you feel, she's got a little buttons she will just press.
Surely crawling.
And your entire heart is taken away. That's why I say, please don't marry those foreign women. Jezebel. And when they take your heart, Jezebel, they take your heart, then you will worship their gods. You see the whole thing. So it's good when both of you can sit down and say, okay, Jesus, yes, Jesus. And you talk about it. This morning I was talking to my wife and she showed me something I had never seen my whole life. I read that Bible. And she said, you know what? Do you know how many times did Abraham literally walk out on Sarah and said, oh, this is not my wife? How many times did Abraham deny? I said once. I said no. Twice. I say, come on, girl, don't take me there. You know I'm the preacher here. She say, twice. Abraham did the same before Pharaoh when they're going to Egypt, and did the same to Abimelech. And I said, yes. She said, do look at chapter 12, look at chapter 20. Abraham is denying. Now, what is coming out? Look at this relationship, really. We are freely talking about God. We are moving on. Now, the next thing is going to be, okay, Jesus is a son of God. No, Jesus is not a son of God. No, he's a prophet. No, and where are we going? You know? But the harmony that exists when both of you follow one God, the one and only true God, is just amazing. And let me tell you, you don't sacrifice God to keep a woman.
Say it again.
You don't sacrifice God to keep a woman.
You won't make it. You won't survive.
No, you won't be able to make it. You rather sacrifice a woman to keep God.
Keep God.
In the end, that woman will come back.
And join
You get it? And join you. So that is one thing that is very, very important. If she's so beautiful and you say, oh, Bananke, Amina. No, let Amina go. You say, God, you know how my heart had gone to Amina, but I bring Amina on the altar. You take Amina, that's yours. Now, that actually even deepens your relationship with God, because you're forsaking so much. For him, he fills up. Your relationship with him goes to another level. I'm telling you. I remember when I got saved, I had a girlfriend.
Okay.
And I'd been a bad boy and all this and whatever, but this girl was there, and I'd come up with all the, the prestige and whatever, because she was in school and every boy had failed. And then I said, who does she think she is? And I went for her and I won. So the entire school knew who we were and all this, and then Jesus puts a hook in my nose. And then he dragged me. Then I said, man, I'm going for Jesus. And then I looked, but this girl, man, she's hot.
And you're a celebrity.
I'm a celebrity. I'm going for Jesus. So I went to her and I said, I got saved. What? I said, I got saved. She said, that's a joke. You getting saved? I said, yes. She said, that's a joke. And I said, and because I got saved, I've discovered that the Bible says he who finds a wife, not he who finds a girlfriend. So I don't think we can continue. I said, where did you get that stuff from? I said, I told you I got saved. And she said, you know what? I don't want to be a fool.
Like you.
If you want to continue, go ahead. It's okay. But I will not be a fool. And I said, okay, thank you. And I walked away. I needed Jesus. I walked away. I said, God, man, whatever goes, now I'm coming to you. And what God gave me in return is a zillion times much more. A zillion times much more. Because I surrendered.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'm asking on behalf of everyone watching, those who are married,
Okay.
So just like you said, last love, and I'm just going to talk about
Yes.
last and love. So you're married, you
Yes.
love each other, you're in a home, and then lust comes in. And then you are having your eyes outside marriage. If you could advise people, how can they protect that love? How can they be good in their families?
Okay, Cabanyoro.
Before maybe you answer that, could you also top up, because you just mentioned how even reflecting from the Bible that you should, about foreign intermarriages.
Yes.
And then we have got tribal intermarriages around the country.
Okay.
If you could clarify that, because
Okay.
I'm thinking people might take it out.
Yeah, the tribal, according to God, the moment you are born again, you see, these teachings are for a certain nation. They're not for every nation. And this is the nation of God. And the constitution of this nation is the Bible. And to him, there's neither Jew nor Greek. So as long as you're believers, tribes don't matter. Okay? As long as you're believers, tribes
don't matter
at all. You can go ahead and enjoy. And then you bring in this question: how do we keep the love? Now, this is what you need to understand. When somebody says lust comes in, it's all these things begin as a thought. So the first thing is guard your mind. Guard your mind. This is where your thoughts are happening. You get it? So the enemy throws a thought at you and says, hey, maybe you just had a misunderstanding, a disagreement with your wife, and then you go to office, and when you get to office, there's this new secretary that walks in and says, hey, boss. And then the thought goes, hey, what about it? Man, you can start a new life. You know, women, man, you don't need to struggle. You can, and then you're there seated and the thing is going on in your mind. And you know what you do? You sit back and entertain it. Then you call her again, you look at her, then your mind is going. You're playing with fire.
What a voice.
What a voice. Good Jesus.
Funniest voice.
Lord, I think I never heard properly. There was a problem somewhere. How did I miss her? No. It's your mind. The enemy throws a thought. Then you entertain the thought. When you entertain the thought, that means you begin building it up. Then you begin believing it. You accept it. Surely it shouldn't be hard. You even start comparing them. You get me? And then when you start comparing, you realize that this one is better. Now, when you move in that direction, this is what is going to happen. You begin acting on it. You're already committing adultery. You're already in adultery by allowing that thought to play around here. You don't even flirt with anyone, because flirting is adultery. Because in your thought pattern, you've already gone for it. You get it? You've already gone for it. And so what should you do? When you see any danger coming in, do what? Reject it. How do you do that? A thought crosses your mind. What if it's that girl, man, she is so good and she loves you. The way she throws herself at you, oh man. But you get home and this woman doesn't even throw herself at you, but the other one throws herself at you. She will literally lick your feet. And those are lies. You get me? So the best thing you do, speak up. Say, no, I reject that thought. I have a woman and that's all I love and that's who I love and I'm going to love her. Oh, by the way, I better buy her something right now. You get up, go buy her something, take it home. You're bringing your thoughts back to where they're supposed to be. You get me? And then the next thing is this. So I've told you guarding your thoughts, okay? The next thing is this. You see, you can know everything that you don't do. But let me tell you one thing we need to do. You can hear believers say, don't commit adultery, don't commit adultery. Okay, don't commit adultery. But what do we do? Love your wife. And how do you love her? Invest in her. Give your woman money. Okay. I know y'all go silent and you think we want to get into another debate over that. No, it's not a debate. Get everything. Give to her. Everything my wife has, I have bought. Every hair she does, I have paid for. I buy her panties. I buy her body socks. I buy everything, her bra size. I know everything. Why?
Talk about it. There are a bunch of men who actually know the sizes.
No, you need to train yourself. You see, you train yourself. You give yourself in. You get it? So I need to know her size and everything. You train yourself. And this is how it happens. Why am I doing that? Because money is a treasure. Correct?
Yeah.
Money is what?
A treasure.
A treasure. Time is a treasure. Money is a treasure. Now, when you get your treasure and put it somewhere, the Bible says your treasure will act like a magnet. It will draw your heart. So when I put all the money in her, man, I put a lot of money there. My heart is going to go where my treasure is.
Your treasure is, okay.
For where the heart, the treasure of a man is, there his heart will go.
Yeah.
But then you're saying, man, I don't feel anything about this woman. How much have you taken care of her? How much are you putting in her? How much are you putting over there? How much are you investing? So the best way to do it, keep investing. Keep investing. Take her out. Don't get, let her not be like your sister, the way Abraham was. She ain't your sister. Take her out, okay? Keep doing it. Take her out. Go for vacations. Always celebrate your anniversary. Don't take it for granted. Always celebrate the what?
Anniversary.
I've been married 18 years, going to 19. 18 going to what?
19.
19. And this is what happens. Every 14th day of February, every 14th of February. Apart from taking care of her in every other way, I have to buy her a new gown. I have to dress her up afresh every 14th
You mean to
of
say
February.
there are 18 gowns now lying there?
Yes.
18 gowns in the wardrobe.
And others she's given away.
Kyrian, I'm telling you, this is serious now.
She's given. Why?
18
Guys, this is what happens. Invest. Build your treasure there. Because remember, a woman is left. I leave, but a woman is left. That's why on the wedding day, her parents bring her and leave her there. For me to take care of her, for me to watch over her, everything. I become her father, I become her mother, I become her singer, her auntie. So the more you invest in something, do you think it's easy for Elon Musk to just walk away from that space thing? Huh? That guy struggled to just come up with those spacecrafts and whatever. He doesn't just walk away. People who easily walk away have not put nothing in
Put
there.
nothing literally there.
Allow me to make some comments.
Yes.
The gentleman aired his challenge that he met for overloving someone.
Yes.
Like you said, I don't think there is too much love. We love, and to that extent that as much as you appreciate this person, you start imagining everyone else looking at them is thinking like you.
Yes.
So you can develop what I would say insecurities. So these insecurities develop and turn into, it becomes an obsession now. And you start making the other person very uncomfortable in the relationship. You're calling them every time, not because you're checking on them, but because you're
insecure.
You fear.
Where are they? What are they doing? Who are they with?
You fear that somebody might take them.
Exactly.
You're paranoid.
So
Paranoid.
it comes down to trust. If you love someone, you need to learn to build the trust with them. I had an experience as well, but I learned that if she's not with me, she's gone to the city to do some work. That is what she's going to do.
Yes.
Let me not imagine things that.
The mind. The
Yeah.
mind
Don't
is
cook
so
things up.
important.
Oh, some guy must be looking at her. You start checking the phone. You're going to push this person away.
That's
eventually,
true.
because you're going to make them feel like, yes, you love them, but now it's becoming something else. They don't want to deal with it.
You actually are locked up in fear.
Absolutely.
Now you let fear come in. Because where love is, perfect love casts out all fear.
fear.
So any thought, what if somebody's taking her? You just say, I refuse that thought in Jesus' name. I cast it down in Jesus' name. She's mine. Hallelujah.
So that all comes down to learning to trust this person.
Yes.
If they say something, believe it. And make sure you do the same. But of course, if you're lying, you're going to start also imagining they must be lying. Because I had a friend who, of course, ended up pushing the other person away because he thought he was loving this person so much. But it had become beyond an obsession. He always wonders. Even when she wants to go to the bathroom, he wants to go
Stalking.
and
He became a stalker.
stand by.
Yeah.
Is she
Stalker.
going to talk on the phone in the bathroom? Or
And if I may add something to that before you close it up. Fear. The moment fear is in, communication lines break,
Begin to break and fade.
and they fade. When darkness comes in, trust walks out.
Walks out slowly.
Surrender walks out. Because now there are things you're holding back.
Reality begins to dissolve.
All that dies. But when you say, I will not fear, and you open up, you surrender, because you're not afraid that you'll be rejected or that you'll be taken advantage of. You surrender. And when you surrender, the other you create light. Then the connection happens. Trust becomes easy. Because it's so hard to build trust where darkness is. So now, the moment you walk around, oh, where did she go? Where did she go? You better stop and sit down with her and say, can we talk? If you have any fears, bring them out. Then be open. You're creating light. You're creating room for trust to come in. Because now you're eliminating all shadows, all darkness. And when that happens, if she tells you that I have gone to this place, you're so connected that there's no more room for doubt, but only faith in her. You get me? Before, I had met her, but then I told her, you know what, you go ahead. We had to do a lunch together. I said, no, you go ahead. Let me do this thing over here. And she said, okay, we'll move ahead. I said, good. Now, I'm not yet there. I'm supposed to even be there to do other things, but right now, because I told her I have a session I'm going into, she's not
bothering you, calling you, checking where are you, all these.
We've built it for a length of time. Being open always. When you're open always, there is no darkness. And so trust will be so easy. Many times we try to bring trust without openness. And it becomes so hard. You just say, no, you just trust me. Over what? You know? There's got to be openness.
Yes.
Openness.
Okay, just to summarize, maybe there's some advice I would have for him.
Yes.
The gentleman here.
Yes.
When you love somebody and you realize you're starting to get these insecurities, you learn to give them some space when they need it. Let them do things they love. I mean, sometimes your woman would like to go out with friends. Without you, it's not that she doesn't want to be with you. She wants to be with her friends. But then you want to So, if you have to trust, you ask why.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a process, but you have to work towards it. It doesn't come automatically. Like you say, you can't just say, you need to trust me. You know, the trust is earned based on what you do, how you treat the other person. Because if your phone call comes in and it's maybe a man's name, and I start asking so many questions, I get angry. I don't even know who's calling. And it's your father or your uncle. You know? Then we have had an argument. I mean, this person starts wondering, really.
That's true.
What am I doing wrong? What's going on here? So the openness comes in. Talk to the other person. If you feel a certain way, open up to them. And when you're not with me, I feel like there's something going on. And they're like, why? Okay, maybe you switched off your phone. Maybe the battery went down. So let's not have so many imaginations in our minds when we're not.
You guard your mind.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Okay, thanks everybody. It's been a wonderful time having you all aboard. And a big up to our guest, Pastor Rod Cyrus. It's been a blessing. A lot of people are benefiting. I know there are lots of comments. I don't know viewership is mounting to what, but lots of comments I know, I'm sure, will be airing out all these. Thanks, Pastor Remy, for showing up. We're taking it to another level. And the rest of you friends, thanks for sacrificing. It's quite tricky making time over here in weekdays. Usually people can figure out weekends, but it's a big sacrifice. We don't take it lightly. It's a pleasure. I would like to end up here because of other errands. Just remind you, stay tuned, stay focused. This is Destiny Hub. A lot more is coming. You know, we're going to be hosting more giants, and I know this is not the end. Pastor Cyrus will be showing up. Prepare questions. There are times that we'll be firing questions right from the start. You know, because I realize when we're just summarizing, coming to the end, when Krian was earlier, then another question, why? You know, he said, you know, I had a why there, which needs to be addressed, you know, with pressure mounting from the, you know. Aggressive. Yes, aggressively. So I can tell, I think one show will come up here and we start with the questions, because a bunch of guys, time may not be on our side, but there are lots of questions. We have to learn a lot, what to do, how to, you know, engage what in different circumstances. So basically, Destiny Hub, that's our slogan is simple. Every night has a what? A day. Every night has a day. Every night has a day. That's our slogan. Simple. That a lot of people are in darkness. You don't know what to do. That's why we are here. That's why you hear highlights and the information. The difference between failure and success is information. So a lot more is coming. Just keep it. And if we haven't taken your number, kindly register with the Pauline back there. Then we'll make sure we can add you up on our WhatsApp group so you can follow up. You know, we'll be having engagements and discussions over there again. Thanks for making it over here. God bless you. See you Saturday. Saturday is going to be awesome. Saturday is going to be awesome. We start at I think about 4. Saturday is going to be awesome, very awesome. There is a big cooking in the background for Saturday. Thank you so much. God bless you.